Hey there, it's Jason from TalkTune English. Let me ask you something right at the start. Have you ever spoken English in front of someone, maybe in a classroom, maybe at work, or maybe even at the airport, and felt embarrassed because they couldn't quite understand what you said? You knew the grammar, you had the vocabulary, but when the words left your mouth, the listener tilted their head, paused, and said, "Sorry." That little word sorry can feel heavier than you expect. It makes many learners doubt themselves, even when their English is actually strong. If you have felt that, you are not alone. Millions of English learners around the world face the exact same challenge. Accent can feel like a wall between you and confidence. But here's the exciting news. An accent is not fixed forever. It is flexible. It is something you can shape. And with the right method, you can sound clear, natural, and confident. People will understand you the first time you speak. And the best part is, you don't need years of training or expensive classes. You can start with 5 simple steps that I'm going to show you right now. So stay with me until the end of this lesson, because each step builds on the next one. Step 1 will sharpen your ear. Step 2 will unlock your mouth muscles. Step 3 will train your rhythm. Step 4 will teach you the stress secrets that native speakers use every day. And Step 5 will show you how to practice in a way that keeps your progress growing week after week. Before we start, a quick reminder: if you want to keep learning with me every week, hit the subscribe button for TalkTune English and turn on notifications. Every new lesson is designed to help you speak with clarity and confidence. And if you find today's video helpful, please give it a like. It really supports the channel and lets me know that you want more lessons like this. Now, let's get into it. First, I want to clear up a common misunderstanding. Many learners hear the word accent training and think it means losing their identity. They imagine erasing their culture or copying someone else completely. That's not what we're doing here. Your accent is part of your story, and you should never feel ashamed of it. The goal is not to hide your identity. The goal is clarity. We are focusing on making sure that when you speak, people immediately understand your message. That's it. Think about it this way. If you go to a restaurant and ask for rice, but the waiter hears lice, you may get confused looks or even laughter. But if you pronounce it clearly, there's no problem. You don't have to sound exactly like an American, a British, or an Australian speaker. You just need to sound clear enough that communication flows smoothly. And here's the truth: anyone can improve their accent. I've worked with engineers from India, doctors from Brazil, business managers from China, and students from across Africa and Europe. Every single one of them started with doubts. They thought, "My accent is too strong. I can't change it." But once they practiced the right steps, their confidence grew. Their pronunciation became sharper. People stopped asking them to repeat, and that's when their English really started to shine. So if you've ever told yourself, "It's too late for me," I'm here to tell you that is wrong. Your brain is flexible. Your mouth is a muscle. With consistent practice, you can absolutely reshape the way you sound. And the very first step is not speaking, it's listening. Surprising, right? Most people think improving your accent starts with repeating words or practicing tongue twisters. But no, step 1 is all about listening deeply. Think about music. If you were learning the piano, but you never listened carefully to the notes, you would keep playing the wrong keys and never even realize it. Accent training is the same. If you cannot hear the difference between ship and sheep, or between bit and beat, then you cannot produce them correctly. That's why step 1 is training your ear. So how do you train your ear? Every day, spend 10 to 15 minutes listening to clear, natural English. This could be an audiobook, a podcast, or even this channel. But here's the key. You are not only listening for meaning, you are listening for sound. Pay attention to how words stretch and shorten. Notice where the voice goes up or down. Listen to the rhythm, almost like a melody. Take this example. Say the sentence, I didn't say he stole the money. If I stress the first word, I didn't say he stole the money, it means someone else said it. If I stress the word money, I didn't say he stole the money. It means maybe he stole something else. Stress completely changes meaning, and the only way to master this is to train your ear. Here's a simple exercise you can try today. Choose a very short clip of native English, just 10 seconds. First, listen normally. Then, play it again, but close your eyes and focus only on sound. Forget meaning. Just notice the rhythm, the melody, the stress. After that, play it a third time and try to repeat the rhythm like a song. Don't worry if you miss words. Focus only on copying the melody of the sentence. This method is called shadowing, and it is one of the most powerful tools for accent improvement. If you do this consistently, day after day, your ear will grow sharper. You'll start noticing small differences that you never caught before, and once you can hear those differences, you'll finally be able to produce them. Now, let me ask you a question. What's the hardest sound for you to hear in English? Is it L and R? Is it that like in think? Or maybe the difference between B and V? Share your answer in the comments below. I read every single comment, and I often create new lessons based on what you tell me. So if you leave a comment, you might see your challenge solved in a future TalkTune English video. Step 1 is the foundation. Train your ear like a musician trains for music. Listen deeply, shadow the rhythm, and treat English as melody. That's how clarity begins. In the next step, we move from your ears to your mouth. Step 2 is all about mouth mechanics, how to shape your lips, tongue, and jaw so that your sounds come out clear and accurate. This is where the magic really begins. But before we move forward, make sure you're subscribed to TalkTune English and that you've given this video a thumbs up if it's helping you. That way, you'll stay on track and you won't miss the rest of the steps. Alright, now that we've sharpened your ear with step 1, let's go deeper into step 2, mastering the mechanics of your mouth. So now that we've built the foundation with step 1, listening deeply, it's time to move into step 2, mouth mechanics. This is where things get physical. If step 1 is about training your ear, step 2 is about training your mouth. Because here's the reality, your mouth is a set of muscles. Just like your arms or your legs, if you train these muscles correctly, they will learn new movements. And if you don't train them, they will stay stuck in the old patterns from your first language. Many learners struggle with pronunciation, not because they don't know the sound, but because their mouth is simply not used to moving in the right way. For example, in Spanish, the letter R is produced by tapping the tongue quickly, while in American English, the R is more curled and relaxed. If your tongue is not trained to curl back, your English R will always sound a little off. That's not because you're bad at English, it's just because your mouth hasn't practiced the movement. So step 2 is all about learning the correct positions and motions for your lips, tongue, and jaw. Once you master these mechanics, you'll notice an immediate change in how clear your English sounds. Let's start with the tongue, because it's the most important tool for pronunciation. In English, the tongue often moves in ways that are unusual for speakers of other languages. For example, the sound like in think, or this requires you to place the tip of your tongue lightly between your teeth. Not behind the teeth, not pressed hard, but just lightly resting there. Then you push air out for the unvoiced sound, the in think, or add your voice for the voiced sound that in this. I've had students from Asia, Latin America, and Europe all struggle with this sound because it doesn't exist in their languages. They would replace it with S or T, so think became sink, or this became dis. But once they practiced the physical motion of putting the tongue between the teeth, the problem disappeared. Another important mouth mechanic is the position of the lips. English has many vowel sounds, more than most languages. In fact, American English has around 15 distinct vowel sounds, compared to 5 in Spanish or Japanese. The difference between ship and sheep is not spelling. It's the position of your lips and the tension of your tongue. Ship has a shorter, more relaxed vowel, with lips spread slightly. Sheep has a longer, tenser vowel, with lips pulled a little wider. It's a small adjustment, but it changes meaning completely. The jaw also plays a huge role. In many languages, the jaw doesn't move as much as in English, but in English, especially American English, the jaw often drops open for vowels. Take the sound like in father. To pronounce it clearly, you need to lower your jaw more than you might be used to. If your jaw stays too tight, the sound becomes unclear. That's why one of the best warm-up exercises for English is simply opening and relaxing your jaw. Now, how do you practice mouth mechanics effectively? Here's a simple 3-step exercise. First, choose one difficult sound, for example, the TH or the R. Second, look at your mouth in a mirror. Yes, it may feel strange, but it's powerful. Watch how your tongue and lips move as you try to produce the sound. Third, exaggerate the motion. Push your tongue out a little more than normal. Curl your tongue more strongly for the R. Drop your jaw lower than you think is necessary. Exaggeration helps train your muscles faster. Later, you can relax the movement, but first you need to feel it clearly. Let's try a quick example together. Take the word 3. Many learners pronounce it as tree. To fix this, look in a mirror. Put your tongue gently between your teeth. Blow air softly. Duh. Then add re. Exaggerate it. Re. Do this 5 times, slowly and carefully, then speed up a little. Soon, 3 will sound natural. Here's another example. The American R sound. Like in red. To pronounce it, curl your tongue back slightly, but don't touch the roof of your mouth. Keep your lips slightly rounded. Try it slowly. Red. Again, exaggerate the curl. Once you feel the motion, practice with different words. Rain, river, right? This may feel awkward at first, but remember, your mouth is learning new habits. Think of it like going to the gym. The first time you try a new exercise, your muscles feel strange and tired, but with repetition, it becomes easy. The same is true for accent training. Now, let's connect this back to step 1. You trained your ear to hear the difference between sounds. Step 2 is about making your mouth actually produce those differences. Ear plus mouth equals clarity. One without the other won't work. Before we move on, let me give you one more important tip. Record yourself. Most learners hate listening to their own voice, but it's one of the most effective tools for accent improvement. When you record yourself saying a word or a sentence, and then compare it with a native speaker's version, you can immediately hear the difference. It's like holding up a mirror to your voice, and once you hear the difference, you know exactly what to fix. So here's your challenge for today. Choose one sound that you find difficult. Practice it in front of a mirror for 5 minutes. Exaggerate the motion. Then record yourself saying 3 words with that sound. Compare it with a native model. Adjust and try again. If you do this daily, even for just a few minutes, your mouth will start learning new habits. Remember, accent training is not about talent. It's about muscle memory. And muscle memory comes from repetition. So don't give up after a few tries. Keep practicing, and your mouth will adapt. Now, I'd love to hear from you. In the comments below, tell me, What sound is hardest for your mouth to produce? Is it the th, the r, or maybe the difference between ship and sheep? Your answers will help me create new lessons that target those exact challenges. Step 2 is all about mechanics, training your tongue, lips, and jaw to move in new ways. Once you master this, your English will instantly become clearer. But we're not stopping here. In Step 3, we're going to explore the rhythm of English, something that many learners completely overlook. Rhythm is what makes English sound natural, like music, and it's the secret to sounding smooth instead of robotic. So if you haven't yet, subscribe to TalkTune English and like this video so you don't miss Step 3. Because once you combine listening, mouth mechanics, and rhythm, you'll notice your accent transforming faster than you ever thought possible. Let's move on now to Step 3, the rhythm of English. We've already worked on Step 1, sharpening your ear through deep listening, and Step 2, training your mouth muscles with mechanics. Now it's time for Step 3, and this step is often the missing piece for many learners. Step 3 is about rhythm. What do I mean by rhythm? Think of rhythm as the music of English. Every language has its own rhythm, its own pattern of stressed and unstressed syllables. In Spanish, for example, each syllable is pronounced with almost equal weight. In Mandarin, tones are critical, but the rhythm feels more even. English, however, is what we call a stress-timed language. That means certain words and syllables are stressed, and the others shrink, almost disappearing. If you don't follow the rhythm of English, your speech may sound flat, robotic, or even confusing. But once you learn the rhythm, your English will sound smoother, more natural, and much easier for others to understand. Let me show you a simple example. Take the sentence, I want to go to the store. If I stress every word equally, it sounds like this. I want to go to the store. Clear, yes, but unnatural. A native speaker would say it more like, I want to go to the store. Notice how want and store are stressed, while to go to the are reduced and flow quickly. That is English rhythm. Another example, she's going to call me tomorrow. If I stress every word equally, it sounds stiff. She's going to call me tomorrow. A native speaker says, she's going to call me tomorrow. Hear the beat. Some words are strong, others are weak. It's like music, strong beats and soft beats. So Step 3 is learning to feel and copy this rhythm. Once you master it, your speech will stop sounding robotic, and people will understand you with less effort. Now, how do you practice rhythm? Here's a simple 3-part exercise. First, identify the content words in a sentence. Content words are nouns, main verbs, adjectives, and adverbs, words that carry the main meaning. Function words like to, the, I, and are usually unstressed. For example, in the sentence, I need to finish my homework tonight, the content words are need, finish, homework, tonight. Those words should be stressed. The other words shrink. Second, clap or tap your hand as you say the sentence, hitting the beat only on the content words. Try it. I need to finish my homework tonight. Clap on need. Finish. Homework. Tonight. Feel the beat. Third, practice saying the sentence in rhythm, stretching the stressed words and reducing the unstressed ones. Don't worry about sounding funny at first. It's better to exaggerate the rhythm until your mouth and ear get used to it. Later, it will sound natural. One of my favorite techniques is called jazz chants. You turn English sentences into little chants with rhythm, almost like rap or poetry. For example, what are you doing? What are you doing? I'm waiting for the bus. I'm waiting for the bus. Repeat it with rhythm, and soon the natural stress of English becomes automatic. Now, let's talk about reductions. because they're a huge part of English rhythm. In natural speech, many words shrink or connect. For example, going to becomes gonna, want to becomes wanna, did you becomes didja. These reductions are not slang. They are simply how native speakers speak in everyday conversation. If you don't recognize them, you might miss whole phrases, and if you never use them, your English might sound too stiff. Try this. Instead of saying, I am going to study, practice, I'm gonna study. Instead of, do you want to eat? Practice, do you want to eat? By practicing reductions, you not only sound more natural, but you also flow with the rhythm of English. Here's another fun exercise. Choose a short dialogue from a movie or TV show. Write it down. Then, mark the stressed words in bold. Practice saying it with the same rhythm as the actors. Record yourself. Then compare. You'll probably notice at first that you stress too many words. Over time, you'll start matching the natural rhythm more closely. Why does rhythm matter so much? Because rhythm helps listeners process your speech quickly. Think of it like traffic signals. If every car on the road moved at the same speed with no signals, it would be chaos. But with traffic lights green, yellow, red, drivers know when to stop and when to go. Rhythm is the traffic signal of language. It tells the listener which words are important and which are not. Without rhythm, your listener has to work harder to understand you. With rhythm, everything flows. Now, let's connect this back to our first two steps. In step 1, you trained your ear to hear stress and melody. In step 2, you trained your mouth to produce sounds correctly. Step 3 combines both. You listen for rhythm, then you use your mouth to reproduce it. This is why the steps build on each other. They are not separate skills. Together, they create clarity. Let me give you one last tip for step 3. Practice with music. Choose a simple English song with clear lyrics. Listen and tap to the beat. Sing along. Don't worry about your singing voice. This is pronunciation training, not a concert. By singing, you naturally pick up rhythm and stress. That's why so many learners find it easier to imitate accents when singing than when speaking. Music and language are deeply connected. So here's your challenge for today. Pick one sentence you use often in daily life. Maybe it's, can I have a coffee, please? Or where is the train station? Mark the content words. Stress them strongly. Reduce the other words. Say it slowly at first, then faster, until it flows. Record yourself and listen. Do this every day with a new sentence, and your rhythm will become natural. Now I want to hear from you. In the comments, tell me, which part of rhythm do you find hardest, knowing which words to stress, or reducing the small words? Your answer will help me design future lessons here on TalkTune English. Step 3 is powerful. Rhythm is what makes your English sound alive, not mechanical. Once you master rhythm, your accent will improve dramatically. But we're not done yet. Step 4 is where we unlock the real secret of clear speech. Stress patterns across entire sentences, not just single words. Many learners overlook this, and it holds them back from sounding natural. So make sure you've subscribed to TalkTune English and liked this video so you don't miss step 4. Because when you combine listening, mouth mechanics, rhythm, and sentence stress, your English will move to a whole new level. All right, let's move now into step 4, mastering stress for clear and natural English. We've trained the ear in step 1, strengthened the mouth in step 2, and built rhythm in step 3. Now it's time for step 4, and this one is the secret sauce of sounding clear and natural. Step 4 is about sentence stress. What is sentence stress? It's the way we emphasize certain words in a sentence to highlight meaning. English speakers don't stress every word equally. Instead, They pick and choose which words carry the most importance, and those words get more volume, longer vowels, and stronger intonation. The other words shrink down and often sound much weaker. Without proper sentence stress, your English might sound flat or confusing, even if your pronunciation of individual sounds is perfect. If your stress is wrong, listeners will struggle to follow you. On the other hand, when you use stress correctly, your sentences immediately sound natural and easy to understand. Let's look at a simple sentence. I didn't say he stole the money. Depending on which word you stress, the meaning changes completely. Stress on I. I didn't say he stole the money, meaning someone else said it, not me. Stress on didn't. I didn't say he stole the money, meaning I deny saying it. Stress on he. I didn't say he stole the money, meaning maybe someone else stole it. Stress on money. I didn't say he stole the money, meaning maybe he stole something else. See how powerful sentence stress is. The words are the same, but the meaning changes with stress. That's why mastering this step is essential. Now let's break it down. English sentence stress usually falls on content words, nouns, main verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. Function words like to, the, and, or is are usually unstressed. For example, in the sentence, she bought a new car yesterday. The stressed words are bought, new, car, yesterday. The words she and a shrink, so a natural way to say it is, she bought a new car yesterday. Notice that the stressed words are like the skeleton of the sentence. They carry the main idea. The unstressed words are like muscles and skin. They connect everything, but they're softer. If you only listen to the stressed words bought, new, car, yesterday, you still understand the message. So how do you practice sentence stress? Here's a simple exercise. Take any sentence. First, underline the content words. Second, read the sentence slowly, giving strong stress to those content words. Stretch the vowels a little. Make your voice louder. Even raise your pitch slightly. Third, reduce the function words, saying them quickly and softly. Try this with the sentence. I want to watch a movie tonight. The stressed words are want, watch, movie, tonight. So say it like this. I want to watch a movie tonight. Notice how to and a almost disappear. That's natural English. Another great method is shadowing native speakers. Not just for sounds, but for stress. Choose a short clip from a movie, TV show, or even a podcast. Play one sentence at a time. Listen carefully. Mark which words are stressed. Then repeat exactly, copying the stress, not just the words. Over time, this will train your brain to naturally choose the correct stress. Now, let's talk about contrastive stress. Stress used to emphasize contrast or correct something. For example, do you want tea or coffee? I want coffee, not tea. Did you call her yesterday? No, I called her today. In both cases, the stress highlights the difference. This is important in real conversations because it helps listeners catch your exact meaning. There's also emotional stress, where you stress a word for feeling. For example, that movie was amazing. Or, I was so tired last night. Stress here doesn't just carry meaning. It carries emotion. Without it, your speech can sound robotic. Let's connect this back to step 3. Rhythm gave us the beat of English. Sentence stress shows us which notes in the rhythm are loud and strong. Together, they create the music of natural speech. Without rhythm and stress, your English may sound monotone. With them, your English flows. Now, here's a challenge for you. Take one paragraph from an English book, article, or even a transcript of a YouTube video. Read it aloud. First, mark the content words. Then, Read it once, stressing every word equally. Notice how flat it sounds. Next, read it again with proper stress, stretching the content words, reducing the others. Record both versions, then listen. You'll immediately hear how much more natural the second version sounds. Let me give you another quick tip. Slow down. Many learners rush their words because they think speaking fast equals fluency. But speaking fast without stress just makes your English harder to understand. Slow down. Stress the important words, and let the listener process your message. You'll sound more confident and clear. And here's something motivating. You don't need to master every tiny sound in English to be understood. But if you master rhythm and stress, you can still communicate clearly, even with a slight accent. In fact, many non-native speakers who are admired for their English professors, business leaders, public speakers still have accents, but they use stress and rhythm correctly. That's what makes them easy to understand. So, Step 4 is not just about pronunciation, it's about communication. Stress tells your listener what's important. It gives shape, meaning, and emotion to your words. Without stress, your English is like text on a page without bold or italics, just plain and hard to read. With stress, it becomes alive. Now, I want you to practice this today. Choose a simple sentence you say often, like I'd like a cup of coffee. Stress the important words. I'd like a cup of coffee. Say it 5 times slowly, then 5 times faster. Do this every day with a new sentence, and soon your stress will improve naturally. And of course, I'd love to hear from you. In the comments, tell me, do you find it harder to reduce the small words or to stress the big words? Your answers will help me plan future lessons for TalkTune English. Step 4 is about mastering stress. Once you add this to the ear training, mouth mechanics, and rhythm we've already covered, you are building a powerful accent toolkit. But we still have one more step, Step 5. And this step is all about practice strategy, how to keep improving week after week without getting stuck or giving up. Because learning the techniques is one thing, but building a daily system that actually transforms your accent is the final key. So make sure you've subscribed to TalkTune English and like this video so you don't miss Step 5. It's the step that ties everything together and guarantees long-term success. All right, let's dive into the final step. Step 5. The practice system for lasting accent improvement. We've reached Step 5. The final piece of our accent improvement system. By now, you've trained your ear in Step 1, built your mouth mechanics in Step 2, mastered rhythm in Step 3, and learned the power of sentence stress in Step 4. But here's the truth. None of those steps will last unless you know how to practice the right way. That's why Step 5 is about building a practice system that works. Think about learning an instrument again. You could learn the right notes, the right finger positions, and the right rhythm. But if you only practice once a month, you'll never improve. The same is true for accent training. Improvement doesn't come from doing something once, it comes from consistent, focused practice over time. Now, many learners make 2 common mistakes when practicing. The first mistake is practicing too little. They watch a video, repeat a few words, then stop for a week. That's not enough to build muscle memory. The second mistake is practicing the wrong way, spending hours reading textbooks or memorizing rules, without actually training their ear and mouth. So Step 5 gives you a simple, practical system for practice. Let's break it down into 3 principles: consistency, focus, and feedback. The first principle is consistency. It's much better to practice 10 minutes every day than 1 hour once a week. Why? Because your mouth is a muscle. Muscles learn best with frequent, short training sessions. If you only practice once in a while, your mouth forgets the new habits. But if you practice every day, even for a short time, your mouth builds new memory. So the key is daily repetition. The second principle is focus. Don't try to fix everything at once. If you try to improve every sound, every stress, every rhythm in a single practice, you'll get overwhelmed. Instead, focus on one target at a time. Maybe today you practice the TH sound. Tomorrow, you practice rhythm in questions. The next day, you focus on sentence stress in short dialogues. Small, focused practice sessions are far more effective than trying to do everything at once. The third principle is feedback. You cannot improve without feedback. If you only practice in your head, you won't know what you're doing wrong. Feedback can come from different places. The simplest is recording yourself. When you listen back, you'll notice mistakes you didn't hear while speaking. Another source is comparing yourself with native speakers. Listen, repeat, then check the difference. And, of course, you can get feedback from teachers, language partners, or even comments here on TalkTune English. Now, let me give you a step-by-step daily practice routine that combines everything we've learned. This routine takes only 15 minutes, but if you do it every day, your accent will improve dramatically. Minute 1 to 3. Listening. Choose a short clip of native English, could be a podcast, audiobook, or video. Play it and focus only on sound, rhythm, and stress. Don't worry about meaning. Minute 4, 6. Shadowing. Play the same clip again and try to repeat exactly with the same rhythm and stress. Exaggerate if necessary. Minute 7 to 9. Mouth mechanics. Choose one tricky sound like the or vowel differences and practice it in front of a mirror. Exaggerate the movements. Minute 10-12. Sentence stress. Take one sentence from the clip. Mark the content words. Stress them. Reduce the others. And repeat several times. Minute 13-15. Record yourself. Say the sentence or short paragraph into your phone. Then compare with the original. Notice the differences. And adjust. That's it, 15 minutes. Simple, consistent, and powerful. If you follow this routine daily for a month, you'll notice big changes. Your ear will sharpen, your mouth will adapt, and your rhythm and stress will become natural. Of course, motivation is key. Many learners start strong but quit after a week because they don't see instant results. Let me remind you, accent training is like fitness training. You don't see muscles after 2 gym sessions, but after a month of consistent workouts, you see real progress. The same is true for your accent. If you stay patient and trust the process, the results will come. Now, here's something important. Don't chase perfection. Your goal is not to erase your accent. Your goal is clarity. If people understand you easily, if your words flow naturally, that is success. You don't need to sound exactly like a Hollywood actor. You just need to sound like yourself, clear, confident, and easy to understand. And let's be real, sometimes you will feel frustrated. You'll listen to a recording of yourself and think, I still sound terrible. Don't let that stop you. Every learner goes through that stage. I've seen thousands of students struggle at first, but the ones who kept practicing are the ones who succeeded. Remember, every time you practice, you're building muscle memory. You may not feel the improvement immediately, but it's happening. So here's your challenge for step 5. For the next 7 days, follow the 15-minute routine I just gave you. Write down your practice each day. At the end of the week, record yourself reading a short paragraph. Then compare it with a recording from before you started. You'll notice improvement even in just 1 week. And of course, I'd love to hear about your progress. In the comments, let me know. How are you going to fit accent practice into your daily routine? Morning, Evening. During lunch break, share your plan. By writing it, you make it more real. And you might inspire another learner to start now. Let's recap the 5 steps. Step 1. Train your ear with deep listening. Step 2. Train your mouth with mechanics. Step 3. Master the rhythm of English. Step 4. Use sentence stress to shape meaning. Step 5. Build a consistent practice system. Together, these 5 steps create a complete path to clear and confident English. But wait, we're not finished with this series. In the next parts of this video, I'll go deeper into advanced strategies, common mistakes learners make, and special exercises you can use to push your accent improvement even further. So make sure you've subscribed to TalkTune English, liked this video, and left a comment. Because the journey doesn't stop here. You've completed the 5 core steps, and that's a huge achievement. Now let's go beyond. You've made it all the way through this journey, and I want you to take a moment to recognize what that means. Right now, you already know so much more about how English truly works, the sounds, the rhythm, the stress, the system of practice, and that's powerful. But here's the real secret. Improving your accent is not just about language. It's about confidence. It's about walking into a meeting, a classroom, or even a casual conversation, and knowing that your voice will be heard clearly. It's about telling your story, your ideas, your dreams, and having people understand you instantly, not getting stuck on sorry. Can you repeat that? Think of where you started. Maybe you were nervous. Maybe you thought your accent was a wall you could never climb. But look at you. Now you've taken 5 solid steps forward. You've proven to yourself that change is possible. And if you keep practicing, step by step, day by day, your voice will grow stronger, clearer, and more natural. I've taught students from every corner of the world, and the ones who succeed are not the ones with perfect talent, but the ones with persistence. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to keep going. Every word you practice is a brick, and with each brick, you are building the bridge that connects you to the world. So don't stop here. Take what you've learned and use it every day. Listen deeply, move your mouth with intention, feel the rhythm, play with stress, and build your daily system. Do that, and English will stop being something you study. It will become something you live. I want you to imagine 1 year from now. Imagine yourself speaking in English, clearly, confidently, with no hesitation. Imagine giving a presentation, or having a deep conversation, or traveling abroad, and never worrying, will they understand me? That future version of you is possible, and the steps begin now. If today's lesson gave you even a little spark of motivation, then do me one favor. Don't let that spark fade. Take action today. Practice for 10 minutes. Leave a comment sharing your goal. Subscribe to TalkTune English so you can keep learning with me. Together, we'll keep building your confidence, your clarity, and your voice. Your accent is not a barrier. It is your bridge. And every day you practice, that bridge gets stronger. You already have everything you need inside you. Now go out there, speak with courage, and let the world hear your voice. This is Jason from TalkTune English. Thank you for learning with me. Keep practicing, keep believing, and I'll see you in the next lesson.